Good afternoon, it's Tom Bentley here from the TB Yacht Broker YouTube channel. I'm back here again this afternoon after doing my video on the Portofino 40 that we saw just a couple of days on YouTube. I've now got a new tour to show you, which is the San Remo 485, which is just behind me as well. So we're going to go around and have a look at that. So we built the Sunseeker San Remo 485 between 2013 and 17, and actually having both of these boats next to each other as a bit of a comparison, the San Remo was actually the kind of the next step up from the Portofino 40. And while the Portofino 40 in terms of model didn't necessarily build for that long, we only made about 85 of those in the end. A very popular boat, but in a very short succession. We had a fantastic run with the Sunseeker San Remo. Very, very popular boat. It could be used both in the UK due to its kind of size of kind of 48 to true waterline length of 51 foot and 8 inches. So it could be used in the UK as up to really kind of a maximum size in the UK. In terms of berthing and being able to jump into marinas kind of just on the hop and on the off chance. But also plenty big enough that you could go away for a few days on it. But with its, as we just get to the back here, as you can see with that open section at the back, and we'll have a look at that in a bit more detail in a second, but with that open section at the back, perfect med-day boat that you could escape for a few nights on there as well. Now again, unfortunately I've caught the rain ever so slightly this morning, but it is what it is. But just walking down the side of the hull, this example that we're looking at here is a 2016, and as you can see we've got some really nice kind of still glossy white gel coat down the side of the boat. Kind of no real imperfections or anything along like that down the side of the boat. As you can see, we've fresh coat of anti-foul on her as well. So that was all cleaned, scraped back, and a nice fresh coat of anti-foul down here on the bottom. So just as I walk back around the other side, again, some key stats on the boat. I've already mentioned its true waterline length at 51 and 8, beam at 14 foot or just over 14 foot, 14.1, with a range of about 300 nautical miles at cruise. Just having a good look up at that bow area just there, nice sharp and pointy. And actually, as you can see, an extra that would have been specified onto this boat is that galvanised anchor, stainless steel anchor over a galvanised anchor that would have been the standard. So keeping that deep V kind of chine configuration from the kind of the performance aspect of where kind of Sunseeker's heritage really comes from. And again, as we walk down this side, we can really see that kind of no real imperfections. Again, nice kind of glossy, shiny gel coat down the side of the boat here. I should have mentioned at the start of this video that we are managing the brokerage of the sale of this boat. This isn't a part exchange that we've taken in. This is kind of us managing the brokerage sale of this boat. It's been in the UK its whole life, and even though it's a 2016 boat, so one of the last San Remos to come off the line before it finished in 2017, the boat's actually only done 107 hours, which is a fantastic small amount of usage here in the UK. Kept it here in Poole actually, in Solson's Marina. Now having a good look up underneath, as we can see, we've got IPS legs down here. So the boats were only ever built on IPS 600 engines, so 435 horsepower, and that was coupled with obviously the joystick control that we'll see up at the main helm in a second. Coming around the stern, as you can see, high-low platform that we've got here, and the first time really we would have then started to see the fixed mounted steps onto the back of the boat. So when the platform here does drop to this level, you can still use these fixed steps to get back up into the boat, so you wouldn't have such a massive gap to get yourself up. Nice big solid stainless steel trim tabs here with twin hydraulic rams on either side. As we get up underneath, again, all of this has been redone. in terms of anti-fouling all the stainless steel up underneath here. Underwater lights, LED and underwater lights here as well that you can see. So this boat was spec'd with a full med pack specification, even though it was kept here in the UK. So we're going to get up on board. As you can see, we've just had a bit of rain across the platform, which is a shame because we've just done an acid teak wash across the platform here. So, but we'll be able to see that kind of golden hue colour as we go into the boat. So up underneath here we have a garage for a Williams 325 jet tender. The jet tender is included in the sale and comes with some really nice kind of black carbon style tubes down the side of the boat. You can really, sat here at the back, really appreciate the full width of the boat here. The width being, as I've mentioned, just over 14 foot. So you really get a full kind of idea of the width at the back here, and this kind of, obviously that gives itself over to a wonderful cockpit space, entertaining space that we get a bit further up. Now here at the stern there is a kind of a small swim ladder that comes out of here, if you're not using the platform. With the med spec, you've obviously got some nice big chunky rear cleats here for kind of cross hatch mooring if you so wanted to. Over on this side we've got the opportunity of using foot controls for the windlasses up there. We've got a little shower that comes out of the unit here, and obviously shore power unit just in there. At the back we also have a 12-volt socket for inflating ringos, paddle boards, etc, that you might want to use. And then obviously over on this side we've got the passerelle that comes out of that top step. One thing I forgot to mention on this side, you've obviously got engine access down through this side over here. A little storage unit up under there, so we've just got a couple of life jackets in there a minute, but you could put maybe one fender and a couple of lines in there just for quick, easy access. And walking up, we're going to come into the cockpit in just a second. You can already start to see the kind of the golden hue of how well that teak's come up. But on this boat, you wouldn't have seen it from down below, but along these mullions here, you can see the kind of nice carbon fibre effect that was kind of used in the mullion or the eyebrow that goes up the side of the boat. Nice wide kind of gunwale deck just here on the side, so I don't feel kind of unsafe or twisting too much as I'm walking down the side deck. And I've also got a really nice handrail just up here on the left-hand side. Sorry. Looking up onto the roof here, as you can see, we've got these great big cutouts, kind of skylight effects here into the cockpit area. This is mirrored from this side, but we'll see the effect as we walk down below, because obviously you've got this fantastically big carbon fibre and glass roof that retracts over this whole area here, letting like fountains of light coming down into the cockpit area. While I'm up here, obviously we can see radar system, a VHF antenna up there as well. And walking along up the front, now we've got obviously a few cushions that would be up here. Usually you can see the extra of the folding backrests that have been put up just here again, or a fusion head control unit, so you can control the music from up here on the foredeck as you wish. LED side deck lighting just here as well, and those would have been dimmable switches that we would have put in to those. And taking kind of little details off of that Portofino 40 that we can see just over there, lots of kind of little bits, like for sake of example, in those cleats you can see little Sunseeker logos, which is quite a nice little touch. Coming up forward, we've got the foot controls for the anchor system. We've also got the freshwater deck wash down point here, so you can plug in a hose straight into the freshwater system of the boat and wash down the boat from up here. Windlass, and then we've got a nice big storage locker up underneath here with a little bulkhead to kind of separate chain and fenders, and a little tie space as well for fender lines, etc. So plenty of space to store those various bits. And while we're up here, we'll just have a good look down. You can really see how the screen really blends into that roof really quite nicely. Just give that kind of sleek, kind of almost Predator style look, very similar sort of idea to a Predator. It was very much kind of seen as a baby Predator when we built this San Remo. Just walking back down now, hand on here, and we come into cockpit area. Now a nice big sturdy kind of stainless steel wrap around kind of handrail around the sun pad area just here, a couple of cup holders as well, and you've got a really fantastic sun pad area to lie back on just here, and it actually slightly kicks up towards this end here, so you can kind of sit up there with your head balanced up on this piece just here. Now for a camper cover would sit in a rail just above my head just here, and then come down over the top and tie into a couple of pieces just around the back here. So you could use this in the summer in that regards. Oh, sorry, in the winter is what I meant to say. Now I'm just going to do a quick look here for you around the cockpit area. We can see that fantastic amount of light. It's a grey day here in Poole again, but as you can see, some fantastic amount of light coming down into the cockpit area. And it really is a wonderful piece of space up here. You've got, as you can see over here, a big wraparound seating group just here, and just by pulling this and this out here, we get the full kind of size and scope of that table just there. And again, where the kind of, I guess the Portofino 40 being a slightly smaller unit had to kind of compromise on a few pieces here, when we get to this kind of width of boats, we can really build in lots of big spatial areas for entertaining, eating areas, etc., etc. as well. Having a look at the wet bar, we've got a sink, full Kenyan grill, top loading fridge just here, so perfect for when you're at sea and you don't want anything kind of dropping out. And you've also got another additional fridge just here and an ice maker just here as well. Fusion speakers all the way across the hardtop just over here, as you can see, and there will be another piece just up the front just over there as well. This is just a little storage unit just in there as well for little pieces, and you could also fit a small bin just in there. Coming up to next to the Helm seating group, a nice big seating group just here. Again, that lovely golden teak that's brought its way up here as well. You've got a little chart storage area just up underneath here, and your main fusion control head unit as well. And also, as you can just see on the left hand side, a little USB socket as well. And a nice little stainless steel cup holder just here. So coming up to the Helm group area, we've got two Simrad Evo 2 coloured 12.1 inch displays up here, and as you can see, both of them have got their little SD cards already plugged in, so you've got the kind of full UK British spec Navionics in there. We've already seen the radar scanner up the top, and there's also obviously a Simrad VHF radio just down underneath there. You've also got with this Simrad spec, you would have had a go-free wireless kind of bridge control, so essentially you can control the NSS function from your iPad or your iPhone through the Simrad kind of Go Wireless app. So that's really quite useful to have that built into these systems just here. So as you can see, nicely kind of fully spec'd up in terms of the Helm group area. The Volvo Penta multifunction 7-inch screen, so that's been upgraded from the 2.5-inch screen just here. You've got another fusion control unit just up here as well for the music system, and also the control for the e-dispatcher diesel fired heating system that's on board. So as well as reverse cycle air conditioning, you've also got an e-dispatcher diesel fired heating system up here. Side power in terms of the bow thruster unit just up here, and obviously you've got your various different buttons up here for your lights, for the retractable roof. Now that we've just about stopped raining, I'm just going to hit that roof button just there, and while I do that, I'm also going to just flick the ignitions on. With the ignitions, you've actually got, this is just a small wireless key, which is quite useful, so you literally just brush that over the ignition pad rather than having a key now, and it electronically turns everything on. Now we've got the roof open, Look at that for an expansive space. Doesn't it look fantastic? So it really opens up the boat. It really feels like a proper open day boat now, with this fantastic open area space. You feel the wind through your hair as you're driving along. And the reason I turned the ignitions on was because I just wanted to show you that we've got 107 hours up on the clocks on both these engines here. Helm group area. Just move those keys out of the way. It's got a nice little bolster that you can get out of the way, so that moves up and out of the way, and then you've got a nice little teak step just here as well that you can fold out, and that will give you an extra kind of 3 inches of height, so you can just kind of get over the top of that window mullion just there, and great visibility. And just while I come up talking about visibility, I'm just sat up on the bolster here, and I've really got kind of a great view down the side of the boat just here. You have to excuse those alarms popping up. So I've just started the ignitions. Great view down here, and actually from the helm here as well, I can see all the way to that rear platform at the back. So in terms of parking ability, really great visibility, and obviously that parking ability is only ever brought up to a level with the joystick drive system just here. You'll have to excuse that alarm, it's just because the boat's only come out of the water today. So back to here, so obviously IPS drive, we've got the joystick drive system just over here on the right hand side next to your throttle sticks. So if I wanted to move the boat horizontally sideways, I could just literally just push this over across, and the whole boat would move horizontally sideways on those IPS legs with the 2 counter rotating props that are down at the bottom. If I wanted to turn the boat in its own length, for sake of example, you could just twist the tops here, and that would make the boat spin in its own length. And then on top of that, if you did want to kind of drive away from the pontoon, you could just move this ever so slightly forward, but also start to go diagonally left and right, and a bit of twist function as well. So it's a really great piece of kit, especially if you're kind of not used to driving something this big before. It can really help you with the docking kind of procedure and start of it. So that's the helm area. Accommodation. So in terms of accommodation, obviously the boat was spec'd twin cabin and a proper twin cabin in that regards, rather than just having, usually on the Portofino 40 we had the master up the front here, and then we had a smaller, so should I say, twin cabin down on the rear. Now that we've got a bit bigger, a bit wider, we can really kind of change that up. So we've actually got master in the rear, in the stern, taking full advantage of the full width of the boat, and then we've got a twin cabin up at the front, which we'll have a look at in just a second. So first things first, nice big wraparound seating group area again down here. You've actually got an adjustable leg here, which you could fit sockets into the floor to make an occasional double down here on this seating pad unit just here. The wood colour choice in this boat is actually our black American walnut colour style. Just I'll spin around so you can see it up against here, up on the kitchen cabinets. So a really kind of nice satin colour, kind of hasn't obviously faded at all, being in the UK its whole life, which is really fantastic to see. And actually, as a bit of a kind of a differential against that, the stair pieces have all been done in a satin wenge, which is a really nice touch against that kind of that black American walnut. Just having a look, we've got the system management system just up here, so you've got obviously all your AC and DC switches, but your system management computer system, CMate system, just up underneath here for checking, say, alarms, obviously starting generators from here. You can do all of your tankages from here as well. You can even set alarms on the tankage, so for sake of example, you could set your black water tank to 80%, so you know as soon as it hits 80% it will send you a little alarm. And just having a look at this window space here, we've got these fantastic stainless steel chunky portholes as well, one either side of these windows, and wood Venetian blinds just up underneath here as well. A sizable TV just here in this bulkhead here with roof mounted speakers. And as we look up, we get to see some of those fantastic skylights again. And again, really kind of bathing lots of natural light down here into the right down into the kind of living quarters. Now into the galley. Another thing to pick up just while I'm here is obviously we've got UK spec plugs. We've got twin burner hob just up here, a fridge, under counter fridge up underneath here. You should have all of your Sunseeker crockery, yeah, all still left in there. Sorry, your cutlery, sorry, and then crockery built into all of these units just up here as well. Decent sized sink, and you've actually got a decent sized preparation area up here as well, which is fantastic considering this is just kind of a relatively kind of small galley compared to the living space that's on board. Now let's walk forward to that twin berth cabin. You've got this kind of really nice little light panel with kind of LED strip lighting just behind there, so that gives that a really nice little feature. And as we walk forward into the twin berth, we've got a V berth up here, so obviously these beds can slide across, and you can make this into a double if you so wish. So I've just quickly pulled those across, so that makes into a double, or you can have them split. Oh, excuse the cushions at the front. Have them split up there, so you can then have two twins. All of this up the top here is all storage. Again, back to stainless steel, nice big chunky portholes. TV, again, that would have been an extra up there. We've got the handle that's just come off in my hand. It's useful. Nice big full-length mirror up underneath here. And then the entrance into the bathroom from the front cabin. Nice big tall shower set. Obviously you've got the door that will come out and wrap itself around just here. Got some nice big washable sink basins just over here on the left, and again storage all in behind these mirrors and up underneath the sinks, and also obviously you've got Dometic sink controls just there. So that's the VIP. All of these LED lights that you can see are all dimmable as well, so you can really set the mood and the tone all the way throughout the boat. And then coming down into the master, and as you can see, it really does take advantage of the full width of the boat. Just on the right hand side, you've got the master ensuite in here. So again, nice big shower, slightly different folding door to take advantage of that space in there. Again, nice big basin sinks and some nice windowage down here as well. So coming back to the master, and as you can see, we've got a really nice big area down here. Fantastic window space up on the right hand side next to that settee just there. Kind of very kind of clean, kind of you could really put your own mark on this boat in terms of styling and what you would want to do. And then you've got a fantastic storage area just up underneath here, so plenty of storage all the way around here. Again, nice big window just there, and as you can see, a full length mirror just here, and a feature panel and TV built in. And just having a quick walk back through up the boat and just having a look here to see if I've missed anything. There is a sail canopy for the aft cockpit sun pad, so that would be a manual one, so that would sit over the back just here. And an additional set of speakers that go up on the foredeck that can be removed as well. So the boat is currently in Poole, outside my office. It's available with short notice to come and view. And she really is a great example of a fantastically popular boat. You can contact me on 07931 418 367, or my email address is tom.bentley@sunseekerpool.com, and I can provide you with specification details and additional pictures. Thank you.